So I want to make sure that we get started in a good way. Now, we are having some technical difficulties where I'm at. We thought we got them fixed. So I'm going to need the help and assistance of some readers. Do I have some readers in here today? No readers today.
Veronica.
Veronica A. Thank you, Miss Veronica.
Yeah.
All right. And Miss Daphne, thank you. All right. We're going to get started right away. Shalom to you, Rose. Shalom to you, Leah. Good to have you. Marshall, good to be with you as well. Callista, Miss Cherie, Ben, Daphne, all of you. Esther, all of you over there in Vietnam, we're so glad to be with you and have you today. Let's take opportunity to pray. Father, we come before you in the precious, matchless, mighty, most magnanimous name of He who is Yahshua HaMashiach, who is Jesus Christ to many. We ask you that you would be within, through, and toward us for your name's sake and praise. We make no qualms and no doubts that you are the Holy One of Israel, and there is none like you. So forgive us for any and all sins. We seek to know your purpose and truth. We ask you for life. We ask you for the health and the strength of it all, to, for, and by your glory alone, in the precious and most magnanimous name of Yahushua HaMashiach. We all say and pray. Amen. All right, we're in a Bible book club, everybody. A Bible book club. That means that everybody should get a microphone. We're going to send a microphone to you. We're not interested in your followers, not interested in your people who like you. We're interested in the conversation we are going to have about the Bible. So as we read the Bible and conversations come up, we will then begin to communicate, talk about the Bible, just like any other book club. So we want to send you an invitation. It's coming directly from me, though my moderators will be the ones tagging you. So I want you, please, if you can accept it, you don't have to use your mic. You don't have to speak. But you know what gets funny about studying the Bible the way we do? You be like, hey, I didn't know that. Hey, well, what about this? And that's when you come off your microphone, say your name. Our moderators will catch you, hear you, put you in queue, get your answers, questions, or your revelations pushed forward live on broadcast. And that's how it becomes edifying to everyone. All righty. So, moderators, I'm going to need you guys to take over, start reading. Let's get started into the programming. We stopped somewhere around Genesis, Bereshit 15, I think. And then we'll just read through and get some things done there. But to our moderators, tell us why we're here, and then give us all of the copious notes from our last engagement in the books of Bereshit.
Shalom. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight in the Bible Book Club. We want you to know that if this is your first time here, please make sure that you hit the green house above and become a member. And please ping some people in. We always have a good time and a good sort of discussion. And don't forget to share down below, because your followers, your friends will see it if you share and say, hey, I want to see what that's about. We want you to know that we are recording live on Facebook and YouTube. Both are VWJ Ministries. We are here under the Preceding Word Club every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also want you to know that we are Sabbath keepers. So under our Darash Kingdom Ministries Club, you will find us here Friday nights at 11 p.m., Saturday mornings at 11 a.m., then you can join us for our Sunday morning service at 10:15 a.m. and our midweek Bible study on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of these rooms are recorded live again on our Facebook and YouTube. And you can find these clubs by clicking on Apostle's profile and scroll down to the bottom to look for the Preceding Word Bible Book Club and Darash. Next, we will turn it over to Minister Wanda to give us the notes from last week.
Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Elder Regina. If you could grab your notes at the top of the page, which have been pinned there for you, we will read along together as we go over our notes from last week, September the 8th, 2022. We are in Bereshit's Genesis 15, and we began at Bereshit 15:13, and we ended at Bereshit 15 and verse 16. We still are with the subject, of prophecy. And here are a few of Apostle's key points. In regards to prophecy, most prophecies received are not going to happen the next year. The prophecy in Genesis 3 and 15 doesn't happen for a millennia. The prophecy of Yochanan doesn't come to pass for a few hundred years. So there are a few examples that we have in the word of Elohim where the prophecy does not come to pass right away. There is a waiting time. Prophecy shows you things to come. Any true prophecy from Elohim is about an entity that will be a change agent in the earth. It will change generations. You can find that in Isaiah 58 and 12. Please note that a word of knowledge may come to help you become proficient, efficient, and effective in the things you are already doing so that they can come to fruition in your life. Now, there is a part in our studies last week where Apostle begins to explain familiar spirits, false prophets, prophecy, the church, and how they operate. And he does that extensively. I am suggesting and encouraging you to go back to our replay on Facebook Live at 3816, and then please go listen to the replay in Clubhouse. It was amazing. Now, you must be locked into the Torah, filtering everything through the word of Elohim, and that is in regards to receiving prophecy. Yahweh isn't interested in reminding you about your past. You and he have already lived it. This is a device only used by the accuser of the brethren. Prophecy from Elohim is about changing our world, not your personal space. And finally, the word of wisdom is the word of Elohim. You can find that in 1 Corinthians 12, 7 through 8. Elohim's wisdom is his word. Teachable moment, just because you are locked into the presence of Elohim, not everyone there, meaning in the church, is there for that same purpose. Some have come simply for their religious observations. And finally, only familiar spirits trolling your life will keep hitting you with your past. We're ready to study. So, Apostle, back to you, sir.
All right, thank you so very much. We're going to help you guys get some stuff started. So we're going to ask the moderators, as you did so wonderfully this afternoon, go ahead and begin with the reading of the writ from those passages. We have readers in Daphne as well as Veronica, and we will stop along, and I'm hoping my signal clears up better. Can you guys hear me okay?
Wonderfully. Yes, sir.
Okay, but we have technicians working on my Wi-Fi right now, so I may get dropped out. So mods, be prepared to take over and keep it running as we will peruse the items of Bereshit chapter 15, where we left off last. So, Ms. Veronica, would you mind taking that opportunity to read for us, please? The moderators will guide you and tell you what we need to do next. Ms. Wanda, talk to us.
This is Veronica. Did you want me to start at verse, 15? I don't know.
Minister Wanda, are you there?
Yes. Start at.
Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. Start at verse 13, Minister Veronica, and read on from there.
Okay, Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites, and is not yet full.
Okay, so while I got good signal, Does anybody want to touch on this before we move into the next portion of this? We did talk about this a little bit last week. We talked about it weeks before. Who can recall, regurgitate what you know about the passages that were just read? Give us some insight about the passages that were just read. Anybody? All righty. So, Mr. Veronica, keep reading.
And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river of Euphrates. The Kenites and the Kizzites and the Cadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. Chapter 16? Or do you want me to stop?
No, keep going to chapter 16, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, Yahweh hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to stop there and let's just kind of review a little bit. Something that we talked about earlier is the time frame. Anyone notice that in the time frame? What time frame do we see happening there specifically in verse 3? $10 years? 10 years. What does that say to us? So I think sometimes what happens is and this was in Minister Wanda's notes and something that Apostle had brought up to us last time, is that when we get a prophecy, it doesn't always happen right away. Okay? And so if it's not happening right away, sometimes we can get impatient. And as reading scripture, we're not always careful to see the time frame that's going on. But we do see that it kind of gives us the information first, and then it tells us the time frame. So Sarah and Abraham, they actually waited 10 years before Sarai put forth her idea about Hagar. Does anyone see that?
Yes.
So how do you think, because sometimes we say, wow, we can't believe that Abraham agreed to do that, right? And then the response that happens. Minister Daffy, can you read the next few verses? Verses 4, 5, and 6, I believe, will tell us what actually happened between Hagar and Sarai.
Okay, 4, 5, and 6. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom, And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged me and thee. But Abram said, Behold, thy maid is in do to her as pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, fled from her face.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit deeper, y'all. We because I don't want y'all to get too far beyond this. What do you guys see here? And I don't want to. We're not teaching this, so we're all here together to share with the Bible Book Club. So let me ask y'all, what do y'all see in these passages of Bereshit 16 verses 1, shoot, for that matter, through 3? We talked about the time frame. We talked about how prophecies do what Yahweh has made them to do, and we explained that prophecies don't come to pass so as quickly as you've been told, because y'all been going to these churches and they told y'all that in 3 days and 6 weeks and 5 months, this time next year you're gonna be married, and this time next week you're gonna be sitting on a windfall and all that stuff. What happens and whatever, but prophecy, we talked about that. It takes a minute. The thing I think Elder Roundtree brought up was the fact that, all right, there were some things here that happened, but nobody really paid attention to it, and I think we need to look at it, because Abraham is given a vision. Who can talk about what we just read? Daphne, your mic is going. Daphne, your mic is going in and out. Did I hear Sonia too?
No, you heard Celia.
I heard who?
Celia.
All right, thank you. Okay, Daphne, your mic is going in and out, so it was hard to hear you reading. So go ahead. What you got?
It was told to Abraham, but Sarah was impatient and she went ahead. That's what I see, that she went ahead to do what Yahweh had promised Abraham, but Sarah put her hand into the pot, and she felt that she would go ahead and do as she saw fit to bring forth that which was promised to Abraham and her.
Okay. That's an interesting perspective. I can sort of kind of rock with that. All right, so she did what she wanted to do, got herself in a situation, got out and did what she felt she needed to do. Right? Okay, cool. We heard 2 other people. I heard Celia and somebody else. Moderators, keep the queue.
See Mystique, go ahead. See Marie, excuse me.
Celia.
Yeah.
So Abram got the vision, and Sarai heard it. But after waiting 10 years, after the change of life for her took place, she thought that though she heard it would come from his loins, that she would give Hagar the wife to be his wife, to bear him a child.
All right, so who is Hagar?
Hagar is an Egyptian slave of hers.
So
any child of Sarai's.
She's an Egyptian slave of Sarai. All right, I'm going to stop and we're going to make sure we engage this. So I want everybody to put your thinking caps on. Unless you're at work, you're here in the Bible Book Club, we want you to participate so we can all pull out of this and extract. Because if you don't talk about it, you won't remember it even though you heard it. So Hagar is Sarai's slave. And if I heard you rightly, Mystique, you mentioned that she was talking to Abraham and told him, hey, this is my slave. So pick it up from there.
So let her bear you a child, because then that child would be mine.
Let her, Hagar, bear you, Abraham, my husband, a child, and that child will be mine. Why would it be hers?
Because she owned Hagar.
Okay, so Hagar was her property.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead.
And in doing so, she used her resources. Unfortunately, she didn't understand the power of Elohim when he gave the prophecy to Abram 10 years prior. So using her resources, she figured this is how she was going to give Abram a child of his loins. And Hagar, apparently they must have had a better relationship prior to this conception, despised her master after the conception. In some way, she may have felt that now she's equal, because now I'm his wife. I'm now the mother of his child. And Sarai was to given permission by Abram to do as she see fit, so much so that Hagar ran away because the contention between them was more than she could bear. And doing
Okay,
this,
slow down. That's you're going too fast. You're moving way too fast.
No, I was going to stay
So-
in that vein. I wasn't going beyond that.
No. I said slow down. You're going too fast. What you said right now needs to be clarified. So Hagar is in the way, as it were, now of Sarai's sovereignty as the head queen in the house. And
Yes.
so Hagar being given by Sarai to Abraham, she begins to make wifely demands. So let me ask somebody else. Does anybody else out here listen to the story? Does anybody else know where Celia is in this story?
Rogers.
Elder Rogers, okay, help us out a little bit. Thank you, Celia. So Hagar is starting. Hagar. She rocking right now. She's moved up quite fast. And so what kind of problem is that causing in the household of Avram and Sarai? All right, maybe she can't hear me. So does anybody else know where we are in this storyline at this point?
Leslie.
Pastor Leslie, real quick. So what's the friction? Is there friction that this could cause? Is there a problem with what Sarai
Right.
and Avram are doing right now?
Yes, I would say a strife, envy, and jealousy.
Okay, so what about the kingdom moving forward? What about Yahweh's pushing the kingdom forward, or pushing rather Avram to do what his will would have done in the earthen realm? How's that looking right now at this juncture?
Well, right now bleak. On one hand, I would say bleak because it's not full what Yahweh wanted. It's not what Yahweh.
Well, he said he's gonna give him a child. What you talking about? I don't understand, Pastor Leslie. He said he's gonna give him a child.
He did.
Sarai and Avram, they together. They married. They know what they do, and he giving them a child. I mean, what's the problem? What is he talking about? I don't understand. What's really going on?
What's really going on is that they made their own decision to do what they felt needed to be done to carry the process along, because in their eyes they couldn't see the vision.
In their eyes, they couldn't see the vision. Well, who gets the vision? Anybody can help us with that?
Elohim.
Okay, hold. I'm jumping in. Say your name. Who is that?
Ben.
All right, Brother Ben. Okay, so they're not seeing the vision. Who's supposed to see the vision, Brother Ben?
Usually it's the man, the husband, that does.
I didn't say that. Did you say I said that?
No?
Oh, I thought you
Sarah.
said. Oh, so Sarai is supposed to see the vision?
He said usually it's the man or the
Oh,
husband.
he said usually.
It's the husband.
I thought you was
Yeah.
to me, Brother Ben. I was about to come through this phone, man. I'm like, what?
It's just from the Marriage by Elohim's class.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're learning that through Marriage by Elohim. How was that course coming along for you?
Very good. Thank you.
You and the wife
By
learning?
your leadership. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, Yahweh be praised. I'm glad. And that's Marriage by Elohim. You learn a lot. You learn a lot more than marriage in that, aren't you?
Yes. How to
Yeah.
schedule our time.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Okay, so I can't give that away because that's copyrighted stuff. So I'll be telling everything you know. All right, so
Sorry.
I'm just teasing, brother man. So y'all got to talk to me. I need more than just
First
three
one.
people talking to me about this story. So, Crystal, you got a question? Or you trying to get in on this good conversation? What you want?
Trying to get in, well, both get in on the conversation.
All right,
And
all
I have
right.
a question too.
All right. So let's start with your question first. Go.
Well, so I want to see how is what she did different. When I say she, speaking about Sarai, how is it what she did different than Rebecca, because like we honor Rebecca going kind of like ahead of her husband in a sense to make sure that Jacob gets the blessing, right? Or that he would be the one to be served. I guess it says that the younger shall serve the older, or vice versa. How she kind of like. So how is her plan that she devised different than Sarah's?
Okay, so we'll come back to deal with your question shortly.
Okay. So, but I wanted to. I still
Daphne.
wanted to interject with your question, though. Well, I wanted to answer your question because you said who gets the vision. In this situation, Abraham got the vision.
Oh, in this situation. Ooh, interesting. She said, in this situation, Avram's supposed to get the vision. In this situation.
Not supposed to. I'm just at the time I'm reading.
Brother Ben, she said this situation, Brother Ben. I heard her say it.
This is what I see.
I know the sisters on this call going to team with you, but ladies, if y'all be honest, she just said in this situation, I need to know if somebody heard what I heard.
I heard it.
Yes.
I
Okay,
heard
okay.
it, and I understand.
Brother Ben, when we ask the ladies a question like this, you stay as far out of it as you can, or you will be, my friend, very upset when it's over. Okay, so everybody understands that she said, Priscilla said, in this situation. Okay, cool. So let's talk about it some. Who remembers?
Daphne.
Okay, Daphne, go ahead, Daphne. Then we're gonna cut off and go from there. Daphne, what you got?
Apostle, I'm with Chrysler because
okay, I'm gonna ask you to hold up. No, because if you with Chrysler, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
No, well, maybe no. I'm just saying. I'm going back to another verse, and it says in verse 15, for he said to Abraham his seed. So somewhere Abraham didn't clearly give Sarah that message. He said his seed. So Sarai, she took and gave Hagar her maidservant. So did Abraham say, Sarah, the seed is I'm supposed to implant the seed within you? At one point he did.
We're not gonna have the bitter wife up here. Ain't no bitter one here talking about you all mad at somebody. Who you, Ronald? What you done did, bro? What is going on?
No, I'm just saying it.
She's coming for you. She's coming. Yes.
I felt like I was in a
Yes.
situation
Yes.
right here. Come on,
I'm sorry. No, maybe I'm not saying it clearly.
You are Daphne. Just
Daphne.
lower your
You
voice.
fine. You fine.
Wait a minute. She like, listen.
You don't got nothing else to say because you agree with
well,
me.
Yeah. See, that's right too, Apostle. You didn't trigger it.
No, I didn't trigger it. I put it out there like it's supposed to be. I said what I said. Now listen. Here's the catch. She like, Abraham, just like Adam. And Adam's behind would have told Ishai, we wouldn't be in this. See, I told y'all. Now, y'all gonna apologize for that.
Veronica.
Okay.
Do we need an explanation here? Everyone go to their corner.
Okay, listen up. Here we go. That's good, guys. Here's the catch. Watch this. Daphne's got a point. Crystal's got a point. But let's look at it intentionally. So when we see the storyline, does everybody remember Adam and Ishai? Who remembers what happened in the garden with Adam and Ishai? Anybody?
Celia.
All right, Celia, go. I heard somebody else come off the mic. Who was that?
Wanda.
Okay, Wanda, thank you. Celia, go, and then Wanda, go.
Adam was given the instruction while Ishai was still part of him. Then he and she was one. And once Yahweh Elohim separated them in two, she had an inkling of what was said, but she never directly heard for herself what was said. And Adam never shared it with her either. So when the serpent approached her with a distortion of what was said, she couldn't correctly state properly, and Adam never stepped in to state correctly himself.
Okay, so we understand where Daphne is trying to come from with this, right? And she's like, Adam did it, and now Abraham did it. Okay, we'll talk about that in a few. Minister Wanda, give me your intake. Go. Thanks, Celia.
So along with what Celia said, Adam, so Eve was in his core and Adam was given the instructions. So those instructions, she didn't hear them clearly. It was muffled. It's like a baby in the amniotic fluid, can't hear clearly. So she didn't hear every instruction that was given. So when the serpent came to her, she gave him what she thought was said because Adam didn't step in his position and tell her what the instructions were. And so she gave what she thought was said. The other part is when the serpent was talking to her, Adam's tail was right there listening, and he still didn't step in and say anything. And so when he knew what was supposed to be done. And so when she took the apple and, I'm sorry, not the apple, the fruit, and ate and said, here, he should have been like, no, we not doing that. We're not eating that. But he didn't. And so therefore we have the fall of man. And that's my take.
Okay, so good take. But here's the catch. When we find Abraham, thank you for adding, guys. When we find Abraham dealing with what he's dealing with now in his home, Sarai is a bad lady. She got a mean stick. Sarai is the boss. Trust and believe. Nobody's in that house greater than Sarai. Abraham is called Lord by her, but trust and believe. No one in that house is bigger, greater, or grander than Sarai. Now, here is the issue. When you read the story, Veronica, can you give me verses 1 through 3, please?
Yes, sir.
Go.
Now Sariah, Abram's wife, bare him no children. And she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sariah said unto Abram, Behold, now Yahweh hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her.
Okay, now, many of you remember me teaching you guys about the fact that when Yahweh made man, he made man how? He made man male and what?
Female.
Great. He made man male and female. So the very first human being was made both male and female. That's how Elohim created them. And Elohim called their name Adam. So everybody remembers that the first man was asexual. The first human was both masculine and feminine in its entity and pulchritude. Everybody got to follow me on this before we go further. So we're going to talk about what happened with Avram and Sarai and how it got interesting. Now, Avram and Sarai are way after Adam, but you got to understand what happened to Adam to understand where Sarai was, what she did, and then, in Shika's point, I will come back and talk about what Rebecca and Isaac happened to have happened to them. So look closely at where this goes and keep your eyes on the ball. The ball's always moving here. So when Yahweh gives, in fact, humanity its existence, he made humanity male and female, created he them, and he called their name Adam. They are two factors, male factor and female factor in one body. Yahweh then takes out the female factor, leaves the male factor in that pulchritude, gives the female factor her own pulchritude. He, of course, drew it from the male, masculine body, and he gives them charge. She now is in her own body, but she came from his core. the two were one. So Yahweh has always wanted humanity, though he separated the female from the male, to always operate as one. Why is this important? Because man is the male factor, is the actual antenna for all signals come from Yahweh our Elohim. So the man, the masculine entity, is who Yahweh wants to communicate the vision to. But he gives the vision to humanity in general, but everybody has to play their part. The male factor gets the vision, gets the message, is the antenna for the sound and the waves that come from heaven. But then Yahweh uses both the male and the female to bring that thing to fruition, bring that thing to pass, bring it into manifestation. So when Yahweh speaks to the man, he tells the man, here is the vision. Man, eyes, ears, nose, throat, head, man, masculinity, male factor. He hears it, sees it, smells it, and then he must regurgitate it so that the body and the earthen realm can receive it. Because y'all live in what kind of a kingdom?
Voice activated.
Kingdom.
You live in a voice-activated kingdom. So whatever Yahweh says from the heavens, it must be heralded from the voices in the earth so that the divine Ruach HaKodesh can come and perform it. Nothing gets done in this earthen realm unless, watch this, something is said. So humanity, broken down properly, the masculine or the male factor is in fact the antenna to hear the word of Elohim and then regurgitate the word of Elohim in the atmosphere so that it can be performed by Ruach HaKodesh. Now, when Adam gets the vision, and this is what both I think this was Minister Wanda and someone else was referencing. When Adam gets the message about don't eat the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, pay attention. Ishai is still inside of his pulchritude. She does not yet have her own body. The womb man is not yet in their own body. The womb man is not yet in their own body. The womb is still in the core of the first man made. So when this transition takes place, Yahweh puts Adam to sleep, takes the womb out of humanity, gives the womb man their own pulchritude. Now we find ourselves in the situation for conversation. Now, Yahweh is really, really cool with this. He's so smooth. He blesses my heart where he works and operates. He puts this in front of us, that Adam's job now is to share with his wife, who Yahweh says, though you are now separate, I want you to still operate as if you are together, as if you are one. That's just what I want done. So Yahweh does just that. He causes humanity to be split. It's not good for man to be all one. So he takes the womb out of man, puts that womb in another pulchritude from man, and says, though you're separate, I want you to act like you're one as you were created. They were always created to operate as one, always. So man is the antenna. Masculinity, male factor, is the antenna that is supposed to hear, because he has the eyes. That masculine part has the ears. That masculine part has the mouth. That masculine part has the nose. The womb man is the place where that mouth begins to speak. And that brain sends down a seed or an assignment from Elohim to the womb for the womb to reproduce and be the portal of new life coming into the atmosphere, coming into the world. Do y'all follow me so far with this, or do I have to slow down further?
It's clear, Apostle.
I'm following.
Oh, we got it. We followed.
Following.
It's clear.
So now let's put this in perspective, and I'm going to need y'all to come off mic on these and respond, because I need to make sure we're catching this. So when in fact Adam is separated and woman and masculinity are in two separate bodies, yet they are to function on the same plane, Yahweh says the antenna, which is man, that's why men got big old heads. Y'all didn't know that. Men got some big old heads. Big old heads.
That's funny, Apostle.
Oh,
Man,
my
some
goodness.
big-headed jokers, boy. Y'all right, ladies. Yo, big old head, get on my nerve. Yeah, he get on your nerve because he
Makes
got
so
all
much
this.
sense.
It do, don't it? That's why they got big old heads. Because they get you get on my nerve with your big old head. And then you tell your little boy, you look just like your daddy with your big old head. Yes, they do. They certainly do. So here's the point to that. That is a serious issue, because that man is designed to hear from the divine. And then he is designed to disseminate that message to his core, to his resource. So Yahweh says, Adam, I'm giving you a job. Before Adam is separated, I'm giving you a job. You got to till the ground. Right? Yahweh gives Adam a job. Adam accepts his job. And then Yahweh says, now I'm going to do you one better. Now that you've accepted the job, I'm going to put you to sleep. And when you wake up, I'm going to give you the best gift, barring me, you could ever have. I'm going to give you a wealth of resource. I'm going to give you a womb, man. I'm going to give you resources. So man, everybody say this. Everybody say this. Man gets the vision by design. Say it. Man gets the vision by design.
Man gets the vision by design.
And the woman, listen, now say this. Say, the woman is resourced to vision by design. Say that.
The woman
is
resourced by design.
So the woman is resourced for the vision by Elohim's design. Let me help you. Man got that big old head. Why? Why does man got a big old head, y'all?
It's an
The
antenna.
vision.
He's the antenna. He's the antenna. He's got to get the signal out of the heavens. That's why man puts his head up to see what's going on around him, so he can tell his wife or his core, here's how we got to move. And they will be able to, from that core and center of gravity position, help lift and get us out of whatever that situation is. So man has to see and be the antenna to get the message to the body. The woman is the resource. The woman is the core. If she gets the message, she, the female factor, will put plans together to make that vision come to pass.
So true.
Okay, so when the woman gets the message, she don't even, y'all women don't even know just how important that is, because you do it so naturally. If I tell you even right now why you're able to do it, you'll still look at me like, Apostle, I don't like you when you write like that, but it's okay, because your job is to understand. Somebody put your phone on mute, please. Your job, thank you. Your job is to hear vision, and then Yahweh built you to create the resource or the engineered plan to make vision a reality. So let me help you a little bit more. Go to Ephesians chapter 5. Everybody run to Ephesians chapter 5. Now you're going to understand what happened with Sariah. If you're there, let me know if you're in Ephesians chapter 5. I need a reader for Ephesians 5. Who's going to do it for me?
I'll read.
I don't know who I is. Please say your name.
Chrysla.
Thank you, Chrysla. All right. So, Chrysla, I want you to read Ephesians chapter 5. And it's going to help you the most because you started this. All right.
All right. All right,
Ephesians 5, I want you to start at verse number 20. Verse 19, go. Just for
Verse 19?
context. Yep, go.
Okay. Speaking to yourself in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things unto. So, okay, sorry. When it says God, am I supposed to say Elohim?
Elohim.
Okay. Giving thanks always to all things unto Elohim and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus
Yeshua
Christ.
HaMashiach.
Yeshua HaMashiach.
Okay. Now, slow down when you read this part. Don't go fast. Don't think you know what you're reading. Pay attention. Go.
Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Elohim.
Okay, now all of you have always been taught from verse 22. Read.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Adonai.
Okay. You've been taught since verse number 22, and that's been the message you've always been preached and had preached at you. Women, submit yourselves to your own man, to your own husband. And we took it to mean, in many instances, walk 3 feet behind him to the left, let him eat first. I'll talk about that another day too, because some of y'all are going to be shocked to know the truth about that. And then, I'm supposed to be submitted to him no matter what he say, what he do, and that's the Christian God thing to do. Okay, sounds good anyway. But today I want y'all to understand what submit really means. Okay, so in order to understand that, you got to go back a couple of verses or a verse. Would you read verse 21 again for me?
Sure. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Elohim.
So who is one and who is the other? Anybody know?
Celia,
Go.
the husband and the wife,
Okay, so who is one?
submit to each other.
You
The
submit to
husband
each
submit.
other. Okay, cool. Good answer. So we submit ourselves one to the other. Husband, submit yourself to the wife. Wife, submit yourself to your own husband. Why do you think it says submit to your own husband? Anybody?
Celia,
Come on.
because we are attracted to vision, we could get carried away and give our resources to the wrong person, to someone other than our husbands.
Okay, let me break that down better. I want to make sure you understand that. She's on track with what she's saying. Listen to what this means. Are y'all following this? I need to know y'all following this, because otherwise I'll just stop talking. Is everybody on here? I want to talk to.
I understand.
Stop telling me to keep going like you the boss of me. You ain't the boss of me. I told y'all about forcing me and rushing me into stuff. Keep going. Who y'all think y'all? I'm just playing. Okay, so here's the catch. When we talk about submitting yourselves one to the other, you have to understand that when Yahweh gave the vision to man, man is to give the vision to the woman. When, in fact, the woman receives the vision, ladies, y'all going to have a flashback, and some of y'all going to scream. Some of y'all have heard me teach it, but every time I tell you this, something else is going to trigger inside of you. But pay attention. When Yahweh tells you, woman, you are, in fact, to submit yourself to your own husband. Well, Chrysla, would you keep reading Ephesians 5 and start at 21 again, and then go.
Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Elohim. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Adonai. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and he gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Okay, so when you read this about Messiah, when it reads in verse 25, read it again.
Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands, love your wives, even like Messiah loves the church. Now, this is deep, y'all, because we stopped listening to this because we got caught up in New Testament teaching. The reason that Paul tells the Ephesian church, you must love your wives, husbands, the way that Messiah loved the church. Watch. Is not Messiah called the bridegroom? Talk to me.
Yes.
Yes.
I need more than two people to tell me, y'all. Now, I need to know that everybody's got microphones.
Yes,
Please
I got
send
it.
everybody the microphone in this room. Please, everybody in this room, take the microphone. You ain't got to use it, but every now and then we're going to talk to you. So send microphones. Invite everybody, okay? I want to hear more than what I'm hearing right now. I don't want to talk to two people and everybody else sit back and just be chipping on the bit. So I want everybody to participate because it makes you learn better. Is it not true that Messiah is called the bridegroom and the church is called the bride? Is that not true?
Correct.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
That's true.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true.
So the bridegroom is the male and the bride is the female.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's
Correct.
right.
Yes.
Yes.
So the bridegroom and the bride are to be married, right? To become one, right?
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. Right. That's correct.
So Messiah says as the male factor, and what's the male factor do? What's the job of big head? What the male factor do?
Get the antenna fixed.
He's the antenna. He's supposed
He
to
gets-
see.
He's the antenna. He's supposed to receive the signal from the divine. So
Right.
if Messiah is the male factor, then he is supposed to be bringing the vision into the earth and giving it to the church so the church can do the work. Oh, y'all missed that.
I did. Say it
That
again,
was
please.
good. That was good.
One more time for them that's not paying attention. Here it goes. You ready?
You keep coming for me.
I'm coming for you. I need you to listen. Listen. Where's Jasmine when I need her? Listen. Look here. When Messiah being the male factor, when he is marrying the church, his bride, that's a female, he came to give the message of Elohim to the bride so the bride could carry it out in the earth. Watch this. When Messiah, the bridegroom, somebody say the male factor.
The male factor.
The male factor.
When he's in the earth, does he not say to the rest of the church and those who should be the church, the words you hear me say, they are whose words, y'all?
My father's.
Father.
Sound like an antenna, don't it? He said, the things you see me do, they are the things my father said do. Sound like a visionary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all not talking to me. Y'all got real quiet. I need more people talk to me than that. Come on. Did he not say that?
Yes.
Yes, he said that.
Yes, he
He
did.
did. Yes, he most certainly did. And why was that important? Because we failed to realize that Messiah, when Paul says, honor your wives and your husbands as Messiah and the church work together. Because the Messiah, the male factor, and the bride is the female factor. They still work the way Yahweh told Adam and Ishai. Man gets the vision, gives it to the woman carries it out. Watch this. This is what you call your real ride or die. See, when a woman, she's geared, she don't even know she's geared like this. But she should know it because of what Yahweh did when he made Adam. He made man, put him in the garden, then put man to sleep, and said, I'm going to give you the best tool to get the job done. She's going to help you meet the goal I gave you. I gotta take another second because y'all nobody fell out yet. All right, so she.
I got it. She's the help meet.
She's to help meet the goal.
Right.
Y'all
Correct.
around here talking about help meeting Christian and have no clue what y'all talking about.
I got it just
I want to be a help me. I need a help me. I want to be a help me. God, I want to. Never even understood what a help me was. I want to help me. I want to be a help me. God, next year I want to be a help me. Shut up. You ain't ready to do no work, and you talking about you want to help somebody meet what goal. And then if you do somewhat nearly close to understand what a help meet is, you helping somebody who's meeting something that never came from God.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm not coming for the women because I'm coming for the men first. But you get caught up in that man who's giving you his dream, his vision. And that's why when you submit all your life, I gave him the best years of my life. And we ain't went nowhere. And it's all ruined and I don't know what to do. That's because you filled and put your resources into his words. And he never sat before the Father to get the word. And your resources is attracted to vision. And if he don't have Yahweh's vision for his life, you are going to be padding and working yourself to death for his vision, not Elohim's vision. And now your marriage has no success. Your relationship will be branchy at best, and you're never going to see what Yahweh intended for humanity as a union of family should ever see. And therefore, when you have a man and a man has a woman, that man should be taking that woman, the family that prays together, stays together. I don't mean sit up and lock the doors and go, Hikamu Shanda, he coming in a Honda, everybody get into one accord. No, not that. See, when Adam was given the vision, Yahweh had Ishai with him, but she was in his womb. What Adam failed to do was to make sure he told her what the vision was. Don't eat the tree. Fix the garden. But he doesn't. She fails. She doesn't fail. She doesn't know. She gets confronted. We fail because he never told her. Right? And that's why Yahweh didn't stop her and disconnect her from the earth, because she is still seed incubating worthy. Adam's word ain't no good no more. Yahweh don't even want Adam planting seed for his name's sake any longer. Yahweh says, I'll give another seed giver. The ground is still good. The womb is still good. But the seed giver, yeah, he all jacked up. He's perverted. I don't want that seed. It's going to come no matter what, but I'll send another seed to correct this issue they have put on the world. Now, woman, Sariah, what Sariah does is she does what she's supposed to do. I'm not even mad at her. The issue is she just didn't wait, because that's what we have a problem with, impatience. She didn't wait on Yahweh. She did what she is geared to do. Every woman on this platform is geared to hear vision and then try to bring it to pass. When you hear vision, whether it's your job, whether it's your husband, whether it's your pastors, you will look to bring that vision to fruition. You're geared to do that. That's why men work on visual, women work on verbal. They need the word more than anybody. And when they get the word and they got the word, oh, they good. That's all they need is just an instruction. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, I know you heard that from God. I was with you in the meeting. I was with you in prayer. I was with you on Sabbath. We sat down. The children was here too. We were studying, reading the word. I saw when you saw that word. I started looking at it too. I see it too, baby. So, baby, you heard that, right? Yeah. And she will confirm what he heard. And now, guess what? When a woman knows she got confirmation, she got a real plan in front of her. She will go away for about 2, 3, 4 days. She'll come back with 3 to 4 different ideas to bring that vision to fruition.
Absolutely.
Now watch this. Everybody say submit. I want to hear everybody come off mic. Everybody come off mic and say submittance. Come on.
Submit.
That's like 3 people out of all these people here. All right, listen. So I want to make sure I say this without sounding salty. When a man and a woman are to submit themselves one to the other, verse 21, the husband must submit to the woman. Pardon me, I sneezed. The husband must submit the vision he heard to the woman. What? Yep. He don't submit that to his pastor. He don't submit that to his friend. He submits that to his wife. She the only one that can help him bring it to pass.
Absolutely.
Listen. So when he says submit one to the other, the man starts this process. He submits to the wife. The wife gets confirmation. She's feeling real good about this. Like, yeah, baby, you're right. All right, we're going to do this. Let's get at it. And then, watch this closely. The woman comes back after having that word, that vision, that seed planted into her, the incubator. After a period of gestation, germination, she comes back in 3, 4, 5 days and says, baby, remember the vision? Look, Yahweh showed me this. Here's 3 different paths we could take. Now, you're going to have to be the one to decide which path we take, but I'm submitting this resource that I am to you so you can choose which one of these courses we're going to take. See, that's why Yahweh said, woman, submit to your own husband. See, right now, every woman on this platform, every boss on this platform, every manager, every department head on this platform, you're submitting to your boss. That's why you've been elevated. Because anytime you hear a vision in a vision meeting for your church, for your company, for your communities, nonprofit organization, for Acorn, for voting rights, for any movement you decide to put yourself to, you are the ones who are the most important on the board. Because what happens is once you hear vision, your resources just quicken inside of you. It's innate. And what do? You come back and you submit to the committee, to the steering committee, to the board you sit on, to the chair you're a part of, and to your PTA, your SAC, your diversity course, and your HR, your team, your sales team. You submit resources that say, here's how we can get this done. Let's hash it out. And you give resource to the vision of that company or that entity or that organization. And now, because husband, you married, who one did not even prove to you he had a word from Yahweh, but he did the typical things that marriage systemically does. He did the typical things. Yes, y'all got married. He planned with you the marriage. Really, you planned it. Because we got so many bridezillas out here, it's ridiculous. You told him what to do. He's like, yeah, you happy life, happy wife. That's what I heard. That's what they told me. And so he just went along, whatever color you said do, whatever venue you wanted to have, whatever headdress you wanted. He just did what you wanted because he was trying to get the cookie for just, like Luther, if only for one night. It's the honeymoon night, but if I just do what she wants, it's going to be a beautiful night. Okay, so now he's just doing what you want, but watch this. He may go as far as you two having a dream to get your first home, or at least a place to reside. He and you might plan to get your car, maybe even start working on your credit. But once you've attained the house, once you've attained the car, once you've attained the level of credit worthiness or maybe even financial balance that you want, you stop planning. He stops getting vision. You may even get a vision to go to a particular church together. And I can't even tell you Yahweh gave you that vision. You just saw one down the block and knew it was a good thing to do because you heard we need God in our marriage. And you just went. But at the end of the day, you now, over time, stop hearing from the Father. And now the womb man, she can't not have vision. She will always bring forth the earth, no matter how old she gets. Whatever seed you put in her, she will always produce. She can't stop producing. She can't stop being a resource. Deeper and deeper you dig in the dirt, you find gold, you find coal, you find diamonds, you find rubies, you find all these different things. And the more you build, the more you dig, and the more you go into this womb man, the more you see what she is. No matter how much she's produced in the past, no matter how many orchards she's put up, you put an orange tree there, sooner or later you snatch it up, you can put a banana tree and it'll grow just as productive. The womb man will always produce because she is simply designed to be resourced to fulfill vision. And so man
Hallelujah.
that I've married, man that has married her has stopped envisioning things because he got his man cave. Now he got his Sunday football. Now he's a soccer coach and a football coach and a basketball coach. He got a couple children. And now he's got a little bit of status in community. He made it to supervisor. He got a badge. He might be in corrections. He might be a police officer. Now he's just living out his life. And women can't live like that. And then suddenly he says, babe, we're growing apart. It's not that y'all growing apart, brother. You stop sitting her and you before the Father and getting the next vision from the Father because she's got to be putting out all the time. She can't even help herself. She will help her girlfriend with her birthday party. She will help her mom with her anniversary party. She will help her brother. She will help the neighbor. She will help the post office. She will help the Christmas committee. She will help the Easter committee. She will help every committee in the church. She will be the usher on the usher board. She will be at the PTA, the SAC meeting. She will be downtown at the town meeting. She will help the mayor. She will do whatever because she's got to produce. She's just a resource. She don't even know what to do with herself. But when she hears a vision, she automatically attracts to it.
Wow.
Feeling he's gotten all the resource out of her, now he's comfy in the home that they have made and doesn't realize this ain't even the tip of the iceberg. And now she, with all this resource inside of her, she goes to work. A new company comes in, a new idea, an expansion comes in. The next thing you know, she's at work for 7 to 8 hours, where it used to be just 5. Now she's at work for 10 hours, or she's at home and she's doing 3 extra hours for the job because she's got vision. She has to have vision. She eats vision. She eats vision. She eats vision. She needs vision. She plants. She sows. She shows. And man with me does not have one anymore. She has to be, whether she likes it or not, near vision, something that's going forward, something that needs what she is. And the husband's like, well, you must be out there doing something while you ain't home cooking and whatever. I've already mastered that, baby. We got that done. What are we doing? What's the next vacation? I don't know. You figure it out. All right, I'll do it. She don't have vision from her leader. Whatever thing looks like leadership to her, she will suck in that vision. So when the boss says, does anybody want overtime because we're starting a new department? I'm sorry, I think I may have bored y'all. All right, I'm gonna stop right here.
No,
not
not
at all.
all.
That's good. Tell the monster.
No, my mouth is on the floor.
So is mine.
So now you got your laptops in the bed. He's sitting right there next to him. It used to be when he got in the bed next to you, it was, oh, baby, come hold me. Just touch me. Would you grab me? Can we cuddle? Can we spoon? Can we do whatever needs necessary? Baby, just hold me. Talk to me. And now it's like he's so caught up in his vision that everything he's done, he's now completed his vision. He breathes, he burps, and then he farts, and he goes right to sleep, snoring. And you sitting there with your laptop, 2 and 3 of them at a time. You got your phone working, you got your laptop working, you got your pads working. You up and down on the telephone. You're moving outside the bed. He don't even know you're going on, but you can't stop. You're like, I'm just doing so much. I mean, I wish my husband would help me. Here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to understand. Yahweh designed you a certain way. Listen, let me show you and prove it. If y'all want me to prove it, say, prove it, Mr. Apostle Man. Just go ahead and say, prove it, Mr. Apostle Man.
Prove it, Mr. Apostle Man.
Prove it, Mr. Apostle.
Prove it with the word. Watch this. Yahweh made man. He gave man a job. Once man accepted that job, he gave man a resource called a woman. But he made man to till the ground. Watch this. Listen, pay attention. He made woman to help him meet the goal of tilling the ground.
Wow.
Woo, hallelujah.
All right, I'm okay. I'm gonna stop.
Keep going. No.
I told you not the boss of me. I told you that's the problem. Think you're the boss of me. I'm not gonna keep going. Get somewhere.
Please, Mr. Apostle Man.
Please, Mr. Apostle.
No,
I second that.
But do y'all understand it? Do y'all understand it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
So
is
what was
Veronica.
Soraya? So what was hold it, Veronica? I got you. So what was Soraya's problem? What was her only problem? She
got too much resource.
She heard the vision. It's not that she got too much resource. She has just enough resource for why she lives on the earth. But when the person and the entity designed to utilize that resource for the glory of Elohim doesn't use it, she's got to get this out or she gonna bust. And that's why, like every Christian church, now the church is the bride of Christ, right? Ain't that what y'all say?
Yes.
Is the bride of Christ female?
Yes.
Yes.
So if your pastor just shooting up a whole bunch of stuff, putting auxiliaries together in different plans, he want to do this for the city and do this for the mayor and do this for clout, do this for the web and do this for the vine and all this other stuff. We end up in Christendom as the bride, as the female, doing 1, 2, 3.
Way
Way
too
much.
much.
Way too much.
I think I need to stop. I really do. Because when we realize that what Messiah gave us was the word of Elohim, and when we don't sit and when he gave us the word, it was for us to do it. Now watch this ride or die part. She that he gave this word to, watch this. This is why Yahweh did it this way. The man is the sower. He is the seed planter. Watch. And he has to sow into good ground. But once he sows the vision into good ground, whether robbers come and kill him or not, the vision is still going to come to pass. Oh, y'all didn't catch that. See, Messiah gave the word to the church, the bride, the female. And when he died, the vision is still going on. See, the woman, the female, is engineered as resource. I feel like I'm just talking to myself these days.
Oh, listen.
We hear you.
Keep going.
All right. We need to stop there because that's all I gave the first group. If I give y'all any more, it's going to be a problem. Y'all want to talk about it for a few seconds? Y'all can. I'm all ears. Did anybody learn anything just now?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So Veronica's going to talk in a second, but here is the issue. So Soraya doesn't do anything wrong. Soraya does exactly what she's geared to do. The problem was she didn't wait. 10 years passed. Now, Daphne's point is Abraham should have said something. In this case, Abraham didn't know. She heard what Abraham heard. See, what y'all don't remember is that Abraham was having a meeting when Messiah came, when Adonai came in flesh as a Christophany, and two met Abraham, not Melchizedek, and Soraya was sitting in the tent eavesdropping. She heard the vision. She heard it would be his loins. But after 10 years, that is a long time.
Yeah.
After 10 years, it's like, well, I'm a resource. Maybe I'm supposed to figure this out. So she does what a resource does. The issue was Abraham, before he submitted to it, should have ran it by Elohim. Instead, of course, he smashed. I'm sorry, my bad. He did what he's a man. Y'all just, I'm just saying, I put it out there. Now they mad at me. They're not going to. He was in the spirit, but now he all carnal. See, up there. He's now. See,
Fell out.
Do y'all get this now?
Yes.
Yes.
So what Abraham is doing, where Abraham is with this, is legitimately where he's supposed to be able to tell and filter this through the word and say, all right, babe, I hear you, resource. Because Sariah tells him what to do on many occasions. Did y'all know that? That was Sariah's job. Sariah carries a big stick. Remember, she's the one that put Hagar out. Hey, Abraham. And here's what she told him. Y'all be getting mad at her. But Sariah said it right. She says, bruh, my job is to bring you what to do. So my error is on you. You didn't take it to the Father when I gave you what I do naturally. I was created. I woke up like this, Mr. Abraham, man. I woke up to give you resource to fix problems you are trying to figure out. In 10 years, that's a problem we're trying to figure out. So I did what I do. She did too much. She did way too much. She too should have sought the Father, but she didn't. But in the event, she did not do anything she wasn't designed to do. Now, Miss Chrysler, Yahweh takes and does the same thing through Rebecca that has been done through Sariah. Because Rebecca received the word from Elohim that there was a vision, that the one that came out first would serve the one who was last. And in doing so, before her husband, who had the vision, messed the vision up because he first mistook Jacob at birth. And Rebecca, y'all answer a question for me. Veronica, I ain't forget you. Y'all answer a question for me. Did Rebecca ever disobey her husband? Ever?
No.
So we agree she never disobeyed her husband, did she?
No.
No, sir.
Why would she do it at the end of his life? She don't gain nothing extra. Y'all called Jacob a liar. Jacob didn't lie. Jacob did what his mom told him to do. He honored his mother and his father. And we don't think he honored his father, because the way he honored his father was to make sure by mom's instruction that the vision for what Yahweh wanted got carried out through him getting the blessing.
Chrysler?
So when we understand what Yahweh has done, Rebecca never disobeyed, ever. Rebecca never, ever disobeyed. What she did, watch this, y'all. You ready? You ready? Y'all been talking about it all your lives, ladies especially. Y'all say y'all gonna be a help me. Do you think now in hindsight she helped Yitzhak meet the vision Yahweh gave him?
She did.
Yes, she did.
It hit different now, don't it? We got to look at how we call her now, what we call him, and what we call them to him. Veronica, go.
I just want to say that I am in awe of the illumination of the revelation that you just put on me tonight with the Elohim's design for marriage. I'm sitting here shaking my head, rocking and reeling, and like, oh my God, wish I'd have known these things a long time ago.
Yahweh be praised. Anybody else?
Chrysler?
Chris is on cue. Go, Chris. What you want?
Listen.
Come
Okay.
here.
So Yahweh, okay, remember when Rebecca was having the turmoil in her room, she's asking Yahweh, like, what's going on? And he told her the vision. When did he tell Yitzhak the vision?
He told Yitzhak the vision when Abraham transferred the blessing of the birthright to him. Now you got to go back further. We're going to read that later too. I'm setting these things up so you guys, when you see them, you'll be like, oh, here it is.
Say that again, Apostle? Because you said Abraham and Jacob. I got confused. Could you say that again, please?
Yitzhak receives the blessing and the vision from his father Abraham, because Abraham tells him the vision. Yitzhak tells it to the boys. That's why Yitzhak chastised Esau for marrying those girls from the other nations, which is also why Yahweh hated Esau, in part. Because Esau took it for granted. One, he wasn't supposed to spit out like that. Two, he did. But at the end of the day, Yahweh made sure that Rebekah knew prophetically, hey, Rebekah, listen, sweetie, you got two nations in you. One of them going to be tripping. The other one's going to be the prophecy for what I promised Father Abraham. Remember, Father Abraham had to communicate the miracle, the vision to his son Yitzhak. That's how Yitzhak knew the vision. Yitzhak's issue was watch this, the just shall live by faith and not by sight. Y'all believe that?
Yes.
Y'all believe that?
Yes. Yes.
So what did Jacob, what did Yitzhak do that messed that up for himself?
Crystal.
Go, Crystal.
When the twins were coming out of the womb, he called Jacob something that he was not, just by what he saw Jacob do.
Because he saw something. Because he saw something. But what he saw wasn't the will of the Father. Was it? But he did what they do in culture. What does he do? He takes and he says, that boy name is Jacob. Hating on his brother. His brother coming out the womb and he snatched him back. See, y'all, this is why when you just read from the New Testament, you never understand what Yahweh had been telling them all the time. I'm going to tell y'all this clearly, and I want everybody to get it. You never read the Bible until you've read the Torah. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Why does it feel like somebody mad at me? I don't know what this feeling is. Why is it so quiet?
We ain't mad. We on the floor. I'm laying next to my
Yeah.
mother.
There's not enough left in ministry.
And it's been in our Bibles the whole time. But we've been so busy doing Jesus. And Jesus was like, y'all look, will y'all go back and do what the Father told me to do? And that was to be Torah. Because if you do that, you'll know why I'm here. And you'll know what I'm doing while I'm here. And they never do. We just kept doing what we wanted, how we wanted to do it, when we wanted to do it, why we wanted to do it, and we kept doing it our way. Y'all so quiet. I don't get it. There's nuggets and gems being dropped, and ain't nobody saying nothing. Okay, time for this class to end.
We're picking it up. And I'm still chewing. Yeah,
You said don't respond too fast.
Does it hit different?
Very different.
It really does. It really does hit different. Because if we don't read the Torah, we don't know the prophecies. We don't read the Torah. We don't even realize when Yahweh gave a prophecy to Abraham in chapter 15, your children going to be slaves for 400 years. And then I'm going to give them the land. That's impressive to me. All right. Nobody got nothing to say?
Yeah, Celia is in the queue, and then round
Shit.
3.
Go.
You dropped illumination would be an understatement with the definitions of every time you speak on the formation of marriage and Yahweh's will for marriage. But your illumination on the resource and how we respond to resource just brought such clarity, because for a minute it's like he was reading part of my life that I wish you wouldn't be reading right now, and brought such clarity for me to understand why I do what I do, where I know I do it but didn't know why, and why I've done certain things and put certain things together and couldn't figure out why I was still doing it. And I thank you. One of the few times that I'm not going to say I'm mad at you at the end of one of these sessions, but I thank you, because when we don't understand how we were wired innately by Elohim to do what we do, and then society tells us X, Y, and Z, and it just get crisscrossed with our understanding. So you literally just ironed out all of those crisscrosses that, yeah, most of us is probably still laying on the floor trying to gather ourselves.
Is she
But
right? I can't tell because I think they
that's why
make you
we're
like,
quiet.
I know that.
That's why we're quiet.
You can't reach
But-
a mic when you on the floor.
But for you to iron out those crisscrosses, removing the society's definition over us, removing how we've been misread for we're called busybodies or we're called do-gooders, because it's just not that it's just how we're wired to do certain things. And I'm not talking about the true quote unquote busybodies who's in everybody's business. I'm just talking about those who has to follow the vision and do the work, who's always involved with something to get stuff done. Yeah. Thank you. I'll leave it there.
You're on mute, Apostle.
Sorry, I thought I was talking. Thank you, Cecilia. But one of the things I want to make sure y'all understand is this, that even with that busybody part you just brought up, well, a good part of that and a good reason for why there is busybody is because a woman without a vision, she starts seeing almost anything as a vision. And sometimes gossip can be, let me sit down because I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to put my,
Tell the truth.
I'm just going to put that out there and let y'all hammer that out. Y'all still there?
Yeah. We're still here. I was trying not to go that route, but
But you have to.
you mentioned it.
You can't not, because it's there. It's right there in your face, and there's nothing you can do about that. It's just a reality of the world, of the life, and of everything that is associated to what you are. Now, there's good in this and there's bad in it. And then there's perfection in it too, if we ever figure out what we're supposed to do that Yahweh gave us to do. All right, who's next? Thank you for adding value, Cecilia.
Regina.
Was that
Moderators, who's next in queue, please?
Regina? Did you want to go? This is the other Regina.
Yes.
Go ahead, Regina.
Okay. What I got some of the same takeaways that Celia got, and excuse me, I'm sorry. I and I just wanted to say that I've read the Old and New Testament before, but when you break it down the way you do, the understanding and the connections just pop, like the synapses just go crazy. And there's so much that I want to say. We don't have time for what I want to say, but I appreciate the way you broke this down tonight. It makes sense. It's like, you know, firecrackers and all of that stuff is going off because I get it. You've said this before in different teachings, but it really just sunk in differently. It hit different this time. Because we do have, I just feel like we have a lot to offer as women. I have a lot that I want to pour into, and I love to be able to pour it into my home. But when that wasn't always available, I poured it into work, I poured it into other things. But just your illumination of how you broke it down, I really appreciate it. I was on the floor too. I had to get up and, get the towel ministry I needed a whole towel because the napkin wasn't enough. I needed the towel. So just thank you. I'm just leave it there. Thank you so much.
Yahweh be praised.
Ben?
Apostle.
Okay,
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, tonight was great because it was definitely it reminded me of everything we're learning in Marriage of Elohim's design class and how important my duties, my role in marriage is to make sure I'm always in the Word so I get Yah's vision for our marriage and our lives to continue to be in sync with my wife, be in unity with her, and although there's many things that I mess up in, I'm really grateful for Elohim's grace, and I'm glad that it's amazing how this study tonight was like a re-edification of our time together, Apostle. So thank you.
Priscilla?
Go ahead, Chrisla.
Okay, so coming from someone who is single, and like we always hear, like when they're preaching to us, like you need to be with a man with a vision, but it makes so much sense now because it's like written in black and white. It's not just because we're hearing it and then we're, making it make sense in our own mind, but we're really going through the writ and seeing why that is, not in just the situation with the story with Abram and Sariah. We see it with Rebecca, and then we went back into Ephesians. So the way that we just really broke it down, it just makes so much sense. And then I even see myself when I like followed someone with a vision, but it wasn't Elohim's vision, and just saw how that this was a whole mess, a hot mess. So this was so good tonight.
One. Go ahead, Wanda.
So I'm grateful for the breakdown tonight because I don't know if anybody else was like me. I was coming for Sarai like we was coming for Eve because I was like, girl, you're just doing too much and then you're going to cry because of what you did. But she did do too much. But the breakdown helps us understand why. Because any of us, after 10 years, okay, this ain't happening. So we are a resource. So we're going to try to figure out a way to make it happen. I'm going to help you make this happen because that's what he's saying. And of course, it can't come from me. Surely he wasn't talking about me. And so the breakdown, honestly, today has helped me understand the why she did it. He might not have done what he should have done, should have done and handled it differently. And she should have been patient and waited and trusted and handled it differently. But I understand why now. So I'm grateful for both lessons today and the breakdown again, because every time we hear it, it gets better and better. We used to say gooder and gooder. I know that's not proper English, but every time we hear resource and vision, Apostle adds something else to it that stirs that pot. It's just like some oxtails, you cooking them in the slow cooker, and he just adds some more seasoning or something to that makes that resource vision come alive. And so I'm grateful for the lesson today. Thank you.
Way be praised. And remember, because Soraya women are wired for that. And, you know, it's got its good and it's got its bad. But before we chew Rebecca out and call her some kind of a schemer on her husband, and that used to always bug me when people say, well, Rebecca, she was scheming to get what she wanted. Chick, bruh, Rebecca was the queen. It doesn't matter. Whatever blessing that would be put on the person that Itzhak would bless would not take from what Itzhak and Rebecca have. And we looking at Rebecca like she's a gold digger. Rebecca ain't asked to be there. Rebecca was headhunted. She living a blessed life. What she has, she does not have to worry about somebody taken from her, or she is scheming. Either one of the boys that gets blessed is going to be her son. And that's why I get upset with Christendom, because we act like we know so much, and yet we prove so desperately or so despicably how uninformed we are. Because that's what my pastor had said. So Rebecca, like Soraya, did too much. But Rebecca actually was the epitome of a help meet the vision and goal that Yahweh gave to Abraham, which got carried through Itzhak, which needed to be carried on to who Yahweh prophesied would be the latter child that came out the womb. That was not going to happen if she doesn't interject. She helps the man keep the vision. She helps him meet the goal. Good thing is that she knew the goal of Yahweh, because the goal of Itzhak was about to put it on Esau. Now, I know y'all hear me screaming, but I'm not screaming. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, yeah, you good, yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
I can hear you.
I really wish the people down in our VIP section would come up and grab a mic as well, because I want us to realize this ain't about masculine against feminine. This is about defining the roles of masculinity and femininity, which is why when you don't do marriage by Elohim's design, when you don't operate as a masculine entity by Elohim's design, when you don't operate as a feminine entity by Elohim's design, the marriage is doomed to fail.
So true.
But we don't know what marriage by Elohim's design is. We came in with all these little things. I can't tell y'all how much I despise. And I hope, if I got counselors on here, y'all understand I am not a proponent of this ideology of love languages. There's only one love language. That's the word. Sorry. Now, I know what y'all mean in the natural. But I can't tell you as a marriage counselor how that throws everything off. And people come in, well, my love language is making and crocheting. And my love language is buying candies before 5 o'clock and giving them to them by 7 o'clock so that they know that I care about them. That's my love language.
Would you say miss me with that? I agree, Apostle.
Man, miss me with that.
Yes.
Miss me with that. So when we talk about what this is to be who we are in Elohim, people, we gotta realize, recognize, and acknowledge that Yahweh does and did in the beginning what we need to be doing now at this stage. And we don't know what to do. So to be a helpmeet, oh, you got to do what you did to get them, to keep them. That's a lie. Because if you were at the same place you were when you met them, that's a sad indictment. You've never grown. It just is.
So true.
It just is. So for men have to realize I can't get complacent and think that because we've accomplished this, we done. Yahweh, what's next? We'll cry next on a basketball court before we cry next in life. And then y'all athletes, y'all know what I just said. You don't get it. You won't get it. We play a game, win or lose. Man come off the court, he like, yo, who got next? Or who got next so I can join their team because I want to play again. We do that in everything else but life. Every sporting event we can find, we do it that way, but we will not do it in life. And there's a reason. It's just such a shame. Yahweh's got so much in store for us, so much he wants to see us accomplish and do. He's made man to see vision. That's why women fall for men. Like, I don't know why I fell for that joker. Let me tell you why. He talked a good game. Let me tell you why. Men are attracted to visual. That's what gets them. They see things. So when they see a woman in her 36, 26, 36, when they see a woman, flossing, flexing, and glossing, and putting it out there for everybody to see, and like, oh, so I got a shot at this? What? Really? Get out. He sees that. He goes for it. The hunter kicks in, and now you've taken the hunter, the visionary, and the hunter, and you've crossed their abilities. See, the hunter should be hunting for the vision of Elohim. Instead, he's hunting for the vision of Eloise. Let me stop.
Ooh.
But do y'all get that? So when we talk about what Yahweh has done in the earth for humanity, he's given man vision. Women don't need to see. Women need to hear. Women don't see by sight. Women see by hearing. That's why men know if they got a woman who has intuition, they don't say a whole bunch around her. When your man shuts up around you, that's mean he like, every time I tell her something, she sees something that I don't want her to see. That's why for me, look, at stage in life, look, you need to know let me tell you everything I want to say. And women like, man, you talk too much. I want you to see everything. Boom, here you go. But women need the word. And if she makes man her God, then his word becomes her command. It becomes her will, even if his word is not of Elohim. It's that simple. And these are the things that we need to understand, we need to really embrace, we need to sit down and pay attention to, because Yahweh's not playing games with that. Women are attracted to the word. That's why in the church, you have more women than you have men. And some may disagree with that. I got proof. It's a reality. All right, someone has, Maz, who's next on cue?
I thought I heard C again.
Let me finish this statement because let me finish this statement because here's the point. I want y'all to realize when Jacob sees Rebecca,
his mother. He obeys her because he's watched her work with his dad. When she tells him, hey, son, Esau tripping, he said he's going to kill you. So when daddy dead, you're going to die. So, son, go, get out of Dodge. Go to my brother's space. Esau don't know where that's at, but go up to my brother's space. That'll be far enough away to hide you. And go up there. And when he gets up there, what does Jacob see? Jacob sees some shepherds at a well. Yeah. The vision is in Jacob. Do y'all know that there is a blessing connected to the vision that you and I are still entitled to this day when we honor the Sabbath? If y'all want me to tell you, just say, Apostle, what is it?
What is
Apostle, what is it?
Apostle, what is it?
Okay. Somebody grab Isaiah 58:14. Y'all read it every Sabbath. I keep putting it in y'all hearing because I want y'all to understand it. Every time Yahweh brings a new piece to this, you can see it for what it is. Y'all ready? Somebody grab Isaiah 58, verse 14.
There.
Who's I don't know who that is. Thank you. All right.
Then-
read Isaiah 58:14. Read it.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, in Yahweh.
In Yahweh.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth. And
He says, I will cause you to ride upon the high places of the earth. If you turn not your foot. Matter of fact, just read verse 13. Y'all heard it every week. You're going to hear it again. Read it. Read verse 13. Go.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then thou shalt delight yourself in Yahweh.
So then, if you do what I said in verse 13, then you're going to be found as delighting in me. And here's how I'm going to bless you. Pay attention, people. Here's how I'm going to bless you because you kept Shabbat and honored me, not did your own thing, and stayed in my will and plan. Here's how I'm going to bless you. Verse 14, read.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father.
Whoa. I'm going to feed you with the heritage of Jacob, your forefather. Somebody say Israel by faith. Let me say that now. Make that proclamation. I'm Israel by faith.
I am Israel
I am
by faith.
Israel by faith.
I am Israel by faith.
Y'all didn't say that like y'all believe that. Y'all didn't say that like y'all believe that. Are y'all Israel by faith?
Yes.
Israel by faith.
Okay. I want you to hear this. So he says, when you've done what I say in verse 13, you keep my Shabbat. I'm going to bless you with something that I gave to Abraham, that I caused Isaac to experience, and then he passed it on to Jacob. That's the heritage. The vision, the heritage that Jacob operates in, that Isaac operated in, that Avram operated in, is now left as a legacy from Israel. I will bless you with the heritage of Jacob. That's a mic drop. They can't hear me, can they? They can't. They must not be able to hear me. I don't think they can hear me.
Oh, I hear you.
So y'all thought this Sabbath keeping was just some little cute little thing. This keeping of the days of the high holy days was just some weird little thing. No, everything you saw Jacob be able to do. Do you know that Jacob was able to give away his entire wealth Do you know that Jacob, who the blessing was put on, the heritage was put on, the heritage of Israel rested on Jacob for the greatest manifestation of what Yahweh had intended. Jacob had nothing when he was ran out of his father's home. When he got to Laban's house, he worked for 7 years based on the gift that was inside of him. He worked so well. That gift was so prevalent. That gift was so prosperous that Laban became the richest man in the region. When the 7 years was up, Laban had to come up with a scheme to keep Jacob in his employ. He gives him his other daughter and then makes him work it off for 7 more years so that that blessing could stay on him. Then after the 14 years, Jacob is there. Laban finds another way to keep him there. Do you realize that Jacob was a water whisperer? Jacob was a cattle whisperer. Jacob was a sheep whisperer. Jacob could take bark and make spots and rings and different things on cattle so that the shift of wealth changes and then not take away from what he blessed previously. The heritage of Jacob, your forefather, is what Yahweh wants to bless you with when you honor him by keeping his commands.
Hallelujah.
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 Glory, glory.
Hallelujah.
Let me show you how deep this goes. When Jacob gets to Laban's place, he stops at a well. What happens at the well, y'all? Nobody knows.
Ultimately, he meets his wife.
He meets a bunch of shepherds who won't feed the sheep the water in the well. They told Jacob, Jacob's real good. Jacob's got the blessing on him. Jacob is real good with raising sheep, been doing it for many, many, many decades. He says to them, y'all got to kill these sheep. Why are you not feeding them and watering them in this dry heat? They said, we can't move till the boss tell us to move. Man, get out of here before we hurt you. Y'all are going to kill these lambs. 3 shepherds. None of y'all know what you're doing. And you're not going to move till your boss gets here? The boss shows up dressed in a burlap sack because it's hot outside. She got a mask on her face to keep the dust out of her nose. She can't be seen. She can't tell if she's a 36, 26, 36. He can't tell if she got a BBL. She can't tell if she got fake eyelashes or fake nails. He can't tell if she got skin bleached. He don't know nothing about her face being beat. He don't see none of that because she's wrapped in all these different types of wool looms and her her tunic. He don't know what she looked like. He can't see her figure. He can't see her shape. He don't know if she got cellulite or not. What he saw was a boss chick. And because the vision inside of him instantly said, I'll give everything I... He meets her at a newsflash. Jacob's mom and Jacob's dad, well, they met because Abraham sent his servant to that same area, and I'm not certain if it was the exact same well or a similar well. That's where he meets Rebecca to give him to Isaac. Somebody say vision meets at the water place.
Vision at the water place.
Y'all said that with no enthusiasm at all, but that's okay. Let me help y'all get you excited real quick. So now you see that Yahweh has Rebecca, best thing for Isaac, meets at the well. Brings her back to Isaac, and Isaac and her marry on sight. Wasn't no love in that. Wasn't no dating in that. She saw him in the field blessing Yahweh, and she felt the presence of Elohim and knew that's my man right there. He got vision. He's out there looking at something, and her resource connected right to him. They married within that week. Never met. So they met at a well. Jacob meets Raquel at a well. Moshe meets Zipporah at a well. So these women keep meeting this man a vision at a well. Y'all not gonna get this yet. Then there's Messiah, the vision himself, meets this one woman at a
Wow.
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 The blood. Oh,
Isn't this so?
I don't even know what else to tell you. I don't even. They still standing on their feet. I don't even know what to say. Father, I've done my best. I gave him what you gave me.
That was good. That was real good.
You did it.
I didn't do it. No, I did not. I did nothing. I'm sharing with you what he's revealed to me. I'm just concerned that the message is getting through. I know the messages might not be a lot of messages we don't like, and so we don't listen to them when they start talk too much, and maybe they annoying, and maybe they think they jokes is. But when you really take opportunity to listen to what Yahweh is putting forth through his writ, you cannot risk not hearing what Ruach has to say, and we oftentimes do. So when Yahweh said, if you keep my commandments, I will put on you the heritage of Jacob. That means, listen, when Yahweh puts the heritage of Jacob on you, Jacob was the best well digger in the known world. He would dig wells in areas that people tried to dig for years. They'd be like, how'd you dig this in our backyard? We couldn't dig nothing here. And then they would come and fight him and make him leave. And he'd give it to him. Like, okay, fine, I'll go make another one. Jacob could find water anywhere. Why was that important? Because the blessing that Yitzhak put on him was, you will have the dew of heaven on you. See, this is why I get upset with Christendom and the theologians and the seminarians, because we don't take the time to listen to what Yahweh intently did. He put the dew of heaven on Jacob, on Yitzhak, on Abraham. That's the heritage. You'll be a well-watered garden, even in a drought. Did y'all not connect that? That's why people who don't believe that Yahweh is telling y'all that when you keep Shabbat, you honor him, you minister to him, and then he turns around and tells you the very thing dirt needs. What does dirt need to stay pliable? What does dirt need to stay malleable? What does dirt need to stay flexible?
Aqua.
Water.
It needs water.
It needs water.
And Yahweh says, if you honor me, I will make it my business to make sure that you are a well-watered garden. Even in a drought, I will give you the heritage of Jacob. Jacob could find water. Moshe, Aaron, Yitzhak could find water. Abraham could find water anywhere. All right, I think I've overdone it. Again, I've shared too much.
listen, I'm praising over here on mute. Hallelujah. That's for us. That's
So
us.
you done just enough.
Mission accomplished.
Yahweh alone be praised. All right, everybody, we're going to let y'all have your time. All right. Since there's nobody else in queue. All right.
Country's still in queue.
Who?
See, Mystique.
Come on, who's in queue? Who's in queue? Come on.
Roundtree, but really, what I was going to say is going to take you so off course. We'll wait till next week because it has to do with Hagar. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that, right? I was just supposed to share. Sorry. I repent. Won't let it happen again. Let's go.
What you got?
So one of the things that I saw while we were talking was that you've often taught us how powerful Abraham was.
Right.
You know, that he was a king, he was a sheik. You know, we see that in the war, all the wealth that they had. And then it reminded me that we need to remember about Sarah, and she reminded me of when Yahweh talks to me about low self-esteem. And the reason I say that is if he's a king, she's a queen, they have wealth, they have land, they have everything. She has her own personal slave that is working for her. And she has seen that Yahweh has blessed everything that her husband has done. And yet she thinks that she's not worthy. That's how I looked at it, right? That she's not worthy to carry the seed because she says Yahweh has closed up, has what's the word? He withheld from her to have a child. And so go ahead and take my slave. And how we do that as women, we don't recognize the queen that we are. We don't recognize all the valuable things that Yahweh has placed in our hand. And because it hasn't come as quickly as we want it to, we then submit to something much lesser, and it creates, havoc. And we're not even happy with it after the fact, right? Because it usually turns around and bites us in the butt when we do that. And so that's what we see with the handling of Sarai and Hagar. And then the second thing I wanted to say is that
your first thing is you got to go back and recheck that, because she doesn't not know who she is as a queen. That's why she rendered her servant.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, I wasn't saying that she didn't. I was saying we as queens, we won't wait. And we say, yes, because she said that Yahweh held up her womb. Well, if he did, then he can open it, right?
Right.
But the point was, is she was like, oh, he won't give it to me now. And so for whatever reason, she was like, okay, I'm going to let this happen instead. And that's a lesser choice, and usually if you recognize yourself as a queen, if you regard yourself as that, you wouldn't step down low. You would wait. You would wait for what was worthy of you to come to you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, because that could have been left on me. Okay, so it's the issue of waiting. Yea, I say, wait on the Lord. He will renew your strength. He will renew your ability to trust and believe that what He said He'll do, and that part I can see that. All right, what was your point two?
The point two was, again, I'm always fascinated with Egypt.
Okay.
And how we see that it's mentioned time and time again that Hagar is an Egyptian, and we know the role that Egypt plays with Israel all throughout, even all the way to when Messiah, when he was born, right?
Okay.
So all the way through we see, and to me, I'm wondering, is Hagar getting pregnant? Are we really saying that it's out of Yahweh's will? Because I don't think we ever see Yahweh reprimand Abraham or Sarah for what they did. He tells them that.
No, and let me tell you why. Because we talk about this all the time. Yahweh does not reprimand Abraham no more than He reprimand Jacob for what we say he did, and we say he lied. Yahweh doesn't reprimand Jacob, and a liar will not tarry in Yahweh's sight. He doesn't reprimand Rebecca, because we say Rebecca lied to Isaac. So and Yahweh does not. There's no repentance going on there. There's no need for repentance there. Yahweh does not hold them accountable for nothing. He holds them, actually, they're accountable for getting things straightened out and taken care of. So Yahweh does not reprimand Abraham, because Sarai and Abraham are a team. They work together. Wrong choice, but they did work together. They worked like husband and man should work. Abraham had vision. He didn't know how to bring it to pass. Sarai had taken, like you just said, this path that, okay, Yahweh, you did, but you took my womb, so maybe it's my job to figure this thing out. So, okay, Abraham, here's an idea. I do own. I could make the pain. I could simulate the scenario. Here it is. Buy out. All right. And Abraham is like, okay, you good with it? I'm good with it. They did, watch this, on one accord. That's where you have to keep digging in the root when we talk about how Yahweh punishes or how Yahweh judges. He doesn't judge them. More importantly, whether that's the case or not, it also aids to Abraham becoming the promise that Yahweh had told him he would prophetically be, father of many nations. And yes, that's a good point to drive home. You still there?
Yes, I'm still here, sir.
All right.
And so the thing with also, I remember Crystal was saying something, and even this about the seed. You know, well, he did give his seed. Abraham gave the seed because the seed comes from the man, and the idea that another nation was born, and we kind of see this when we go further in the story, which we'll hit maybe next week, when Hagar goes out to the desert and the angel tells her to go back and gives her the name, you know, of the son. And so again, when we read a little further, we'll see that there's really no judgment for the actions that were taken. And Yahweh knew all of this. Oh, we lost Apostle. Oh, he came back. Yahweh knew all of this, and it played into everything because what did Hagar teach her son? You know, Ishmael. And what did he teach in his further generations as we see Egypt weaved in and out of Israel's history? So, thank you. I yield the mic.
Amen. Amen. And we will get into that. It'll come through the next few readings that we have. But I want to take this time to say thank you guys for everybody. We hope that everybody learned something and has gleaned from this in some great way. Thank you, Elder Roundtree. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Pastor Leslie. Thank you to everyone, Daphne, Chrisla, Veronica, for your sharing and reading and participating. Thank everyone for being a part of this room. I hope that you guys would invite your friends next week, next time, next row, because this stuff is really, it's a bit more than you think. You think that they take forever. They've been in Genesis for the last 9 months, but we've been all over the Bible. All right, moderators, tell us why we're here.
Shalom and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're in the Bible Book Club. As you notice, the replays are off here, but it is being recorded live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can go back there to listen to the replays. We want you to know that we are here throughout the week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the Preceding Word Club at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are Sabbath keepers, so please join us tomorrow night as we study the Torah, the first 5 books of your Bible. We will start on Friday night at 11 p.m., and then we also meet again on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. And you can join us for our Sunday morning service, which is tomorrow after Sabbath, on Sundays at 10:15 a.m., and our midweek Bible studies will happen every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Once again, you can find all of these recordings on our Facebook page at VWJ Ministries and also on our YouTube channel. Apostle, we turn it back over to you. You're on mute, sir.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we pray that everybody's been edified. I hope next week we get some more to come through and participate with this way of study that I find very helpful for revelations. So, Father, we thank you for your word, will, and plan. We ask you to bless these, your people. Let the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart, I pray you have been acceptable in your sight, Yahweh. You are our strength. You are our Redeemer. You are our hope. And you are our peace. And in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we pray and we say, Amen. All right, everybody, this room will end in 5, 4, 3,
Shalom.
2, and 1.
Shalom. Shalom.
Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that this message has been a blessing to your very life and your soul, and more importantly, your walk with the King. Well, we have come to the end. I hope that you would consider becoming either a partner with us in ministry, or if you're not already a kingdom citizen, consider becoming one. By doing that, you can sow into this ministry so that we are able to continue to teach this type of ministry at a grand scale. Join us on all of our social media platforms and visit our webpage to make your contributions sure. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Shalom Aleichem.